All right, everyone. Snap, snap, snap. Steam had a sale. I saw this and was like, oh my gosh. CBT? Cognitive behavioral therapy? Let's see what's going down. But yeah, Steam had a sale and this was on sale. By the way, I really like the way this little dealio is. Safe in Our World, the video game's mental health why can't I read it? Charity. Very excellent. But I think I'm gonna have myself stick around right here. Okay, I was thinking about getting the DLC, but I'm gonna do a new game. Completely blind. Vampire Therapist explores or touches on sensitive topics, such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and of course, death. These may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Vampire Therapist was developed in consultation with licensed therapists, but it should not be considered a substitute for therapy. Unless you're a vampire.
My name is Sam Walls, and I'm a dead man. Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky, though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters, it's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. Fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old. He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been looking, and now it's time to give back. Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
Well, hell yeah, let's go.
Well, I think this is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb?
I'm not going to attempt that either. You got this, Sam. Well, maybe I will. Kleinfledermausstrav. I don't know.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here. Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. Better watch myself. Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
Ja, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Sam, are you sure you're going to fit in with these vampires? I'm here to party.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Oh, here are them kind of vampires.
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Why is he glowing?
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it. It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think.
Ah, the funny patterns. The weird things the
Let's
mind
see.
does.
One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of. There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do or die showdown. And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine. I can always check my journal if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes, Sam. Do not read. Oh my god, Cowboy Bloodsucker at vmail.com. Vampire. Oh my god. I found this old notebook and figured I'd take it with me to Europe. I figured it'll help me organize my thoughts. I'll separate into sections so I can jump to him right quick. That way, when I get to the particular section of my notes, all I gotta do is hop over to that section. Easy as falling off a horse, and falling off a horse is real easy. I almost fell off a horse once, and that was terrible. Cognitive distortions. Oh, hells yeah. Hells yeah. The funny ways we think. I realize we vampires can think in funny ways sometimes, like reality's right in front of us and we just can't see it. Heck, pretty sure it's all humans who do that, not just vampires. We do think funny thinking in particular ways, so I figure I'd write them down so I don't forget them. I'll include examples, so I'll remember how they work. Let's go ahead and take the high noon mind. Sometimes things can seem black and white, win or lose, famine or feast, live or die. Like everything's a big showdown. It can feel like we've got only two options, winning the day or ending up with a stake in the heart. That's high noon mind. It's thinking in extremes and ignoring all the in-between. We stress ourselves out when stakes are high, and also when stakes are probably around, I'm sure. If I can't get the best saddle, my butt's gonna break, ain't no doubt. Either I show up ready to win the rodeo, or I'd better just not show up. The fate of the Wild West is hanging on this gunfight. Saloon thinking. A lot of us bloodsuckers have a habit of either feeling responsibility or soul control, or feeling completely hopeless. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we're powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we're invincible. That's saloon thinking either way. Our real capabilities are somewhere in between. Here's some examples. With my dark powers, vampires shall dominate the mortal world. If a mortal discovers our secret, it's entirely my responsibility to deal with it. I can't deal with the bureaucracy of international travel with my coffin. I'm stuck in the USA forever. That's like black and white. Wait, what is this? No, black and white, I think it was the last one. What would saloon thinking be? Probably like, what? Fight or flight? I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. Hot Brandon. We vampires sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure, I'm unlikable. It's like burning ourselves with a big old branding iron. Every time we look at ourselves, we keep seeing those names. Hot Brandon is just calling ourselves names that do no good. Examples. I missed that shot, I'm such a butterfingers. Crying over a horse, you're sappy as hell. That fella don't like wearing leather, he's only a vampire wannabe. My clients' notes. When I start getting therapy clients, I'll put my notes about them in here. I'll update after every session. I figure I can see how they're doing over time. That is, if Andromachos decides I'm ready for this whole therapist business. Crossing my fingers. My journal, just for writing my ramblings while I'm on this big trip, not my official notes. So I'm gonna go ahead. Well, what day is it today? I'm just trying to see. How far does this go? Ain't nothing. Okay, good. It does stop. That's good. March 14th, 2024. It's been about a week since I boarded the Monster of the Seas cruise ship, and I gotta say, I feel finer than frog hair. Oh, that's real fine. People here are eating and screwing like there's no tomorrow on account of the fact that we're in the middle of the ocean. I've drank from more necks in the last week than I can count. And since the ship's open all night, I rode a water slide for the first time in my life. People were laughing at me for saying yeehaw, but what else do you say to an experience like that? Precisely. March 22nd. Landed in Rotterdam the other day, in Amsterdam now arranging transportation for my coffin. Did some vampire sightseeing. Apparently this place has been accepting of heathens like us for a long time. I went to a vampire coffee shop. They funnel in the what is it? Stovers? Oh, they funnel in the stoners from upstairs to a secret club, and everyone has themselves a grand old time. Gave me the munchies something fierce. I could go for some blood chips. Extra sodium, if you please. Oops. April 9th. Writing from Berlin today. I head to Leipzig tomorrow night before I figure I should check things out here. They got a club here. Where people are up all night doing all kinds of kinky stuff. I'm pushing a quarter of a millennium in years, but folk could give me some lessons, and did. Met some fine folk too. Apparently they've got a nice art scene here. There's even local funding for video game development. Ain't this some kind of world? I can't believe people are still playing Star Invaders and whatnot. I like it here. I don't even have to speak German. Ain't nothing more to read. Hell yeah.
I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though. Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
Oh, and you have to, oh. I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on a Friday night. What is this an example of? I know he said hot branding, but am I going off that sentence he just said? Let's see. Is there a way to go back and read what we just heard?
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Reinhardt, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend. I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts.
I bet you this guy's got saloon thinking.
I'm here to see Andromachos.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Let's bring them joy.
Yeah, sure. They're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah. Dang, awful loud in here.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Well, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this.
Yo!
I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, well, look at you. We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s.
Nice tats.
What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
Make it a cherry vodka.
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What'd you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
Hot
From
branding.
where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are.
Nice.
Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Crimson. That's her name. I was like, she's so... like, that's the bartender I would go to.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
You met some gods, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience. He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here. This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Crimson and Bert. He probably protects the shit out of her.
Howdy.
Like,
it's Sam Walls.
not
to
because
see
she
you,
can't
sir.
take care of herself.
The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Vampire males? Virtual males? But yeah, I feel like Bert is the type who, like, runs a tight shift and, like, totally protects Crimson, not because she can't handle herself, but because he's like, I don't want her to have to deal with the damn stress. That's what I'll do. I'll take care of that. Kind of saloon thinking of him.
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our kin. The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
Yeah.
I've been fixing myself for more than a century now. I don't think I need help.
Then you must prepare to learn a most difficult lesson. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You know, I receive V-mails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're gonna be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive. Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something. And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Cognitive whoozy what now?
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in mortal combat long before the age of gunpowder. But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marky Aurelius.
Marky?
He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
Marky. Aw, him and Marky hung out. I love that.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marky was a bedroom name.
Ooh.
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake.
Is that right?
My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mind.
What a shade you just threw, Andromakos. I forgot you were American. Hey, we fuck.
I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary
Yes.
thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion. One is not flatly weak or strong, good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful. Not every high noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking.
Okay. I better pay attention.
I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it.
Oh boy. This is where I'm gonna suck.
If I do not drink blood, I will surely die.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
No?
No, Samuel. In this case, I am not arguing with reality. If we do not drink blood, we die.
Oh.
This is a fact of being
See.
a vampire.
Derp.
Let us continue.
No, I want to try again.
Death eventually comes for us all.
But we're not vampire. But we're vampires. We're... What? Feeling hopeless? I don't know. Uh-oh.
That sounds like Nosferatu thinking. That's pretty black and white. We've cheated death ourselves.
That's what I mean.
Although this thinking is binary, it is also true, and therefore not a distortion. And death has already come for us, my friend. We simply cling to life. Please, let us try another.
I'm sorry, Andromachos.
Mortals will always fear our kind.
Okay, that's...
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not. Always is such a terminal word, is it not? Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
Yeah, let's... Because apparently I need practice.
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time. It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless.
There's a tear in my beer.
It's saloon thinking. Two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin excesses of arrogance and self-pity.
Oh man, it make me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush. What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy. Rarely do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
You know, that was very much my problem with my struggles with obsessive compulsive disorder. I was really and I still kind of am, like, you know, I don't want to feel out of control. And I started feeling badly, and I was like, oh, I have I have absolute control if I just do things this certain way. It was not true. It just felt like it. And usually that's due to a confirmation bias. Also being just I was really young. I just got into middle school. Like, there was no way I was going to think about that properly. Anyway.
Yeah, you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang. And maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Yes, you see how cognitive distortions keep us from facing reality, whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
No.
You're testing me, ain't you? That's a control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful, but the cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos.
Andromachos. Love that. And he is so true. The cosmos, the world, it's neutral. And that's something that I learned when I started going to go see my psychiatrist and kind of like explain the ways that I was thinking. And, you know, it took me a long time to get this, like, into my adulthood, where I just realized that things are neutral. And even though it doesn't feel like it.
Of course, as you expertly pointed out with your analogy about the man at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Mm-hmm. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one. The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
Well, that sounds like one of them
God.
control fallacies. With all eternity, heck, I think you could do something to save the sun.
No.
I applaud your optimism and ambition, Samuel.
I'm too
But
optimist.
some things we must be prepared to accept, and the death of the sun is one of
Okay.
them. But let us continue.
I just figured it was like, oh, like, I have nothing to do but roam around. That's what I thought that they were talking about, because it's like, oh, because the sun is going to burn out, I might as well just roam around and do nothing in the cold and whatever. But okay, let's think about this a lot better.
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I mean, can I pick something else?
Pay attention,
Dang it.
Samuel. We are considering only control fallacies at the moment. Let me
Where
repeat
is it down
myself.
there then?
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I'm just.
I shall never feel the warm sun upon my skin again. I shall never feel the warmth. You didn't catch my control fallacy. The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it. My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I'm sorry about your sweet kitty, but you can always pick up a new one. Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be
I'm
lonely.
having difficulties. It's okay.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted.
I'm Samuel
but I
after
do
all.
speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified.
Oh.
I went into a murderous depression that nearly decimated the continent. But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
Aw.
Oh, dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Yes.
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard.
Whoa.
Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Very astute, Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling. You correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin. But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had. See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements.
Okay.
I am so old, I am ancient.
I mean, he kind of is, right?
Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner. How shall I describe myself? Yeah.
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, the murderer, reprobate, and good for nothing.
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you merely 2 centuries.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
Where's that? There's that cognitive
now?
distortion?
Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I gotta watch myself, huh?
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become perfect beings, but to understand and accept ourselves. As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges. One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
Same here.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied. I know you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling,
Yes,
control
please.
fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking.
Yes, please. I need practice.
I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin.
But I'm just a simple man, Andromachos. Andromachos.
If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
I know. But are they all going to turn into bats? Oh my god, I'm overthinking this shit. My own cognitive distortions. Dumb bun distortions. Oh my god, so I shouldn't invite them. I shouldn't invite them because it's going to be bad for me. Okay. Let's see. Something about capabilities.
Well, that ain't right.
Oh my
He's
god.
acting powerless, like a man clinging to the whiskey bottle. What Andromaco say that distortion was?
Is it really control fallacy? Is it?
If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
That there's a control fallacy, sir. You're acting like you've got no control, but you could lay down some ground rules for guests, or some newspaper.
Or express concern to my friends that they have not been toilet trained. Very good, Samuel. Let
I
me
get
try
it.
another.
Don't think about what it is. Think about what is going to solve the distortion. It's like, you know, you can, like, what's another way to solve it, or another way to say it, or another way to think about it. Maybe that'll help me realize what I'm picking.
I am Andromachus, the ancient darkness, the scourge of the Mediterranean, the mortal's bane.
You are, though, but not anymore. Labeling.
Well, that's definitely some intense labeling. Those are some hard names to get over.
Oh,
You are not wrong. Those names followed me for millennia. It was most stifling. Let me try another then. If my club's revenues do not significantly increase, I will end up living on the street.
I'm sure.
That there's got to be Nosferatu thinking. There's a
Yeah.
huge space between making a ton of profit and living on the street.
Indeed, you are correct.
You can just
I
cut
run
down
my
your
club at a
spending.
considerable loss, but 3,000 years of banking interest means that money is not really an object to me anyway.
Really? But, like, what if you are in a position where you may, like, end up losing your house or something? That doesn't seem too far from reality, but I suppose he's thinking that there's nothing else he can do, or that they can do. Yeah, so they're thinking there's nothing else I could possibly do, and it's like, it's either going to be feast or famine. I get it now. Okay.
Samuel, now I am not only intrigued by you, but also impressed. I would very much like to teach you my ways, but I must demand something of you first.
Let's have sex.
Anything. I'm here to learn.
You must receive therapy yourself. I will not have you seeing clients without a commitment to your own mental health.
Excellent.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute. I don't know that I need therapy. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
You always need therapy, even if you feel good. It can sometimes help.
Samuel, we all need therapy to live in this world. You have been speaking in cognitive distortions since the moment you walked into my office.
What? He's just simple.
I have. I didn't even notice.
They are most insidious, but I am here to help you identify and challenge them. You have walked alone for too long, Samuel. Allow me to share my experience with you.
That's true. Sometimes when you're so alone, you start to, yeah, that makes sense. You would start to develop something like a cognitive distortion about yourself, especially if you haven't had somebody to point it out to you. That's why therapy is important. You know, you could feel just fine, everything's good, and you're like, oh, like, what do I talk to my therapist about? I have nothing to talk to them about. Sometimes it's really just like that.
Well, all right, if you say so. I appreciate your taking the time to work on this, old cowpoke.
Labeling.
We have all the time in the world, Samuel. But for now, you must be eager for something fresh. Please, dance. Drink your fill. We will begin tomorrow.
Hell yeah, let's get some drinks.
Okay then. Well, sir, it's been an honor.
You don't have to call me sir, you know.
Oh, all right then, Andromakos.
Andromachos.
Andromachos.
Hey, Andromakos.
Just call me Andy.
Yay!
All right, Andy. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, Andromachos sounds... Andy. Andy and Sam.
Dang, look at all them mortals, sweating, blood pumping. I am thirsty. There ain't no power on this earth that'll get me on the dance floor.
Why not? Why not?
Maybe I'll see if the bartender's got anything for me.
Let's see what he's updated here. Wait, what's that? Okay, cognitive distortion reminders. We all make cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortion types ain't weapons to beat ourselves up with. They're just ways to categorize our thoughts. We can exhibit more than one distortion at the same time, and some distortions are even subcategories of other distortions. Identifying cognitive distortions is just one tool in a therapist's toolbox. Empathy and compassion are some of the best tools we've got. Okay.
If it isn't Clint Eastwood again, how'd it go, cowboy?
Seems I'll be sticking around. Guess I'd better get used to things around here.
Good to hear. About time someone helped Andy with his work. Seems you vampires have a lot of problems to fix. Name's Crimson, by the way.
Fine meeting you, Crimson. How do you know so much about what Andy's doing?
Pillow talk. I'm his blood partner.
No shit. How's a mortal get hooked up with an ancient vampire?
Look at her.
I'm a rock climber. I stumbled into one of his lairs in Madagascar, found a cave while climbing a mountain, and there he was, naked in a hot tub.
Oh, that's pretty yummy.
Dang. Must have been a sight.
Hell yeah.
You ain't kidding, cowboy. Didn't expect a luxury apartment with a gorgeous naked vampire inside of a mountain. We hit it off, and he asked me to come back here with him. I like an adventure, so I said, what the hell? I'll date the gorgeous Dracula. But what are you doing talking to me, cowboy? The blood's running hot on the dance floor, and these kids don't mind a little biting.
Ain't no way I'm dancing. There's gotta be a better way to get something fresh to drink.
Why won't you dance? It's a goth
Try
club. You
hard
don't
to
even have to
move.
dance
It's
well.
the
You just
sexy
gotta
old guy
feel it.
again.
Yeah, Sam is sexy.
You should buy us a drink, old guy. You'll probably get lucky. Actually, you will definitely get lucky.
Pleasures of the flesh ain't exactly what I'm after tonight.
That's because you haven't experienced these pleasures with us yet. Buy us a drink and you will discover great satisfaction by uns.
What? They're really not his type, though. And I don't think it's wrong for him to say that. And also, that's kind of being like, hey, you know, not my type. I don't want to be preachy and be like, alcohol's bad for you. I don't got no money, and you can take it. I'll just do that first one.
I ain't buying you a drink. You ain't exactly my type.
Oh, we don't want to marry you. We just want to have fun with you.
You kids are too much. Look, kids, you seem like nice enough folks, but I wasn't planning on buying drinks tonight.
Stop teasing the cowboy, Kinder.
Kinder children.
They're just messing with you. Drinks are free here.
Oh,
Dang, really? Ain't never been to a saloon with free hooch.
yeah. How was that?
Call it a drink exchange.
So, everyone here knows they might be sharing blood?
Only as long as there's consent. We like to create a safe environment here.
But it's mortal blood.
Why don't you take Reinhard and Maxie here back to the kink room?
No.
Wait, kink room?
You're not in Kansas anymore, cowboy. We are not afraid of sex here.
I'm from Missouri, but point taken.
Nobody has to do anything they don't want to do in there. Just have fun and drink your fill, handsome. I'm sure I'll be seeing plenty of you. Maxie, Reinhard, this is one of our special customers.
Ach so, ein Vampir. I'm thinking we are all getting lucky then.
My neck throbs with anticipation.
Dang. Guess I'm going to a kink room then. Thanks, Crimson.
I knew a man who wore this much leather couldn't be boring.
Yeah, well, you got me pegged.
Phrasing.
Is that what we are doing now? Give me the document and I will sign myself up for it.
Yeah, she picked it up.
I really ain't in Missouri no more. Look, I'm more into biting.
Oh, your teeth look perfect. Are you going to bite me with those?
That's the plan. Who's going first?
Sam, he's just so matter of fact about it. All right, come on.
Oh, me.
Well, step right on up. Remember, Sammy boy, just stick the tips of them fangs into the blue veins and we'll all have a nice time.
What? Oh, no. What?
Oh, das hat sich gut angefühlt.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Is it my turn yet?
Well, sure thing. Come on over.
Nick.
Oh, Reinhard, the hot old vampire wore me out.
Me too, Maxie. I feel as though I have set up a mail server.
What? Huh? I don't get that.
Reinhard, mein Sucke Fledermaus. Ich bin so müde, sexy zu sein.
Oh, they are totally like writing that blood drain.
I will get us a taxi cab, Liebchen. Und du, cowboy? Next time we will talk about that thing you mentioned earlier.
Oh, right, that thing. Now that I've had something to drink, I should probably get to my coffin.
Samuel, wait a moment. I see you got your fill. Are you heading out?
Yeah, I figure I could use some shut-eye. I locked up my coffin over at the storage center.
Storage center? Please, you can use my guest coffin. I insist. You must be well rested for the challenges ahead.
Guess I got a big night tomorrow, huh? I should get a good day's sleep.
Wonderful. Please, follow me.
Well, dang. This is mighty plush.
Oh, this is
one of
so
those
great.
smart
Yes.
coffins.
One of them smart coffins. I love Sam.
Let's see what's on TV. Hey, I remember this movie.
Oh,
we were so
hell
proud
yeah.
to finally get some representation. Not sure I should stay up watching movies, though.
Watch his movies. I mean, come on. It's look at it. Look at him.
Well, ain't much else to do in here. I think it's about time I hit the hay. Hope I'm cut out for all this.
I wonder if it will let you watch the whole thing.
Samuel, good evening. I hope you slept well.
Checkpoint saved. Okay, so that's a checkpoint. Whew, what a day. I made it to Andy's Club in Leipzig. Folks here are real nice here. A couple of goths are real friendly. They got a darn tootin' bartender and even a friendly greeter. He don't talk too much, but I can tell he's an introspective sort. Now Andy, that's one hell of a vampire. He's got this presence. You can tell he's 3,000 and that is freaky as heck, but he makes you feel at home, but naked. I don't know how else to describe it. It makes you feel like you're home, but naked. I think I understand. Oh, and I went to a kink room. Yeah, Samuel's kink room. My big brother wouldn't got a kick out of that one. I ain't gonna write about it here. I should get some sleep in this fancy coffin Auntie lent me anyway.
Like the dead, as they say.
I was hoping to save you some breakfast, but I've already sent them on their way.
Oh, that's all right. I'm still pretty full from last night. Them goth types were practically throwing themselves at me.
I am not surprised. Perhaps I should be concerned that some of my guests will follow you home.
Well, gosh, if I still had mortal circulation, I'd be blushing.
Why are you so embarrassed, Samuel?
Ah, hell. Guess we should just save it for therapy, huh? We gonna get started now?
Yay!
If you like.
Why not? I'm eager to get going. Let loose, Doc.
Very well. Let's start with the first question any therapist asks then. What brought you to me? Why is becoming a therapist so important to you?
Well, gosh, I remember what it was like. Being all angry, hungry, and scared all the time. It ain't no way to live. When I see vampires acting the way I used to, I just need to show them there's more to unlife.
And why is that up to you?
You, of all people, know how lost our kind can be. Preying on the weak, dating mortal high schoolers. I've got to make them see their potential. That's what I'm here for. I know it.
All right, control fallacy.
That is a lot of responsibility to place on yourself.
You got a funny look in your eye. Am I doing one of them distortion things?
Yup.
You are most perceptive. Yes. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. When you say you are here to make vampires see the world differently, in what way are you distorting reality?
Well, I guess that's a control fallacy, right?
Yep.
I can't assume I'll be able to help other vampires the way I was helped.
Very good, Samuel. Control fallacies are hard to avoid when one feels strongly about something. Your fate is not to transform every vampire you ever meet, even those who are your clients. You will do what you can do, and that is enough. But I am eager to learn how you develop this desire to help our kin find a different way of thinking.
Well, like I told you when I first V-mailed you, I was a real nasty son of a bitch when I first became a vampire. When I look back and see what a no-account piece of shit I was, I ain't nothing but embarrassed. It all seems pretty stupid to me now. Here we are living forever and all we can do is kill? That's the dumbest thing I ever did here.
Yep.
I am going to stop you for a moment. Stupid, no-account piece of shit, nasty son of a bitch, dumbest thing. Do you hear the way you are talking about yourself?
Yes, but that's how I was.
With respect, sir, I earned all them names. I killed women and children. Half the ghost towns out west are my doing. I didn't think of nobody but myself.
Pretend you are my therapist. If I sat here and called myself a no-account...
I'd say you
Labeling.
were doing some labeling. And I guess I'd tell you to look at yourself a little more kindly.
Extend the same compassion to yourself then, Samuel. How are you to move on from being a nasty son of a bitch if you are labeling yourself? If you wish to be a guide to other vampires, you must start with compassion for them and for yourself. So, now that you've gotten all that horrible name-calling out of the way, please tell me, how did you find your sense of purpose?
Well, I was on the run, you see. The Wild West was ending and the Pinkertons were starting to get the better of my gang.
The Pinkertons, hell yeah.
I went into hiding and found a strange group of folks out in the country. They knew I was an outlaw right away, but they didn't judge me for it.
Very, very kind of them, but also very scary and risky.
They didn't even care that I was a vampire. They welcomed me like a friend, even shared their blood with me. They taught me how to appreciate the beauty of the night, and I started seeing things I'd never noticed before. They taught me my letters, philosophy, and how to question things instead of being scared of them. I think about them every day of my own life. They somehow freed themselves of all the judgments of the time and were better off for it.
These must have been the 19th century American transcendentalists, yes?
Yes, sir. I'm glad I died when I did, because their like just don't exist no more. Once my community died out, I started walking. That was something else they taught me how to do. There ain't nothing like having a walk and a think. I walked in nature for about 90 years and just took in all the grace and beauty of my country. I guess I was kind of selfish, though. I should have been helping other vampires the way the Transcendentalists helped me.
Not really selfish if you're working on yourself and figuring these things out.
Why?
Why waste 90 years walking when I should have been helping others? Seems pretty obvious to me. I could have done a lot of good in that time.
But your should turns that which you could find fulfilling into a duty. You create an extrinsic motivator. Should statements are another cognitive distortion, something created by your own mind. Nature asks almost nothing of you. Even if your should comes from a place of good, it creates undue pressure. And what do we do once we are pressured? We resent the shoulds. We procrastinate. And as you know, we have a lot of time to procrastinate.
You got that right. Why do today what you could do next century?
Exactly. Should statements remove the intrinsic joy from that which you find fulfilling?
I see. Okay. Intrinsic joy from what you find fulfilling. So that, to me, that means that Sam, he's doing something fulfilling, but by talking like that, he's taking away the joy he feels from helping out other vampires simply because he spent 90 years not helping. And yeah, that would kind of, it's a way to talk yourself down. Yeah.
Hold on though. Ain't there some things we really should do?
Of course, there are things we must do, but nature herself tells us what they are. We invent the rest. Here, let me give you an exercise. Listen closely. See whether you can find the should statement that is a distortion.
Let's brush up. Sometimes we judge others and ourselves with arbitrary rules on how things should be, and then we get hoppin' mad when our expectations aren't met. I don't know, like a lot of people do get really, really upset with the shoulds like that. That's definitely a common one. I know it happens a lot with like borderline personality disorder, but I don't know if it's necessarily what's called splitting. These are just shit I know from like 20 fucking years ago, so I am so out of date on this, but yeah, let's see. Should statements can put a lot of pressure on us, but there ain't too many universal rules. Heck, we should probably be dead because our hearts ain't beating, but it seems that ain't true. I'm a vampire. I should live in a castle. When you're in a gang, the gang needs to be your family and no one else. A cowboy must never show fear. These always could be tricky simply because people are going to focus on the should. When you're in a gang, the gang needs to be your family and no one else. And that's how it should be. Oh, man.
I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood.
I'm getting confused. Are they saying they have bad fangs?
We are trying to identify all the should statements right now. I should go to the vampire dentist.
That's the one. No one should go to a dentist. Goddamn butchers.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to feel so bad about getting things wrong because you get fun things like this. Okay.
That is not true. We have to go to the dentist. Our teeth are important to us. How long has it been since you've seen a dentist, Samuel?
No, not since the Civil War.
Ooh.
I'd rather keep it that way.
Well, the kinky goth said his teeth were great.
We'll talk about that in another session. Let's try again. I should drink blood today. I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
You should.
I should be wary of sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
Did you miss my should statement? Let's try again.
Oh my god.
I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood. I should drink blood today. I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date. I should be wary of sexually transmitted diseases. Did you miss my should statement?
Yeah,
Let's try again. I should go to the vampire dentist. I should drink blood today.
Well, I guess if you don't want to
Oh
drink
my
blood, you don't
God.
have
But I'll die if I don't.
So I guess you should drink blood.
Try again. I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
How is that?
Saying you should take Crimson out on a date is a should statement. You've turned something you want to do
Oh
into something you have to
god.
do.
See, I'm like, oh yeah. See, I'm thinking about that cash. I'm like, yeah, I should take him out. I should take him because I'm not thinking that should means I guess. You know, I took this class called the 7 Habits. It was a part of a program of my job. And I remember they were saying, like, you don't have to say things like, I need to do things, or I should do things, or I have to do things. You have to, like, talk yourself into saying, I want to do this particular thing instead of other things.
That's right, Samuel. You know, I couldn't be more pleased with you. Your time in nature was clearly well spent.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But if you don't mind my saying so, I hope you're treating that mortal lady right.
Thank you. Please, ask her yourself. I imagine she would share her blood with you. You look like her type.
Hold on. I've only been in Europe for a couple of days. I ain't gonna go after my teacher's girlfriend.
She does what she wishes, and that is why I chose her as my blood partner. Samuel, even if it beats no longer, you have a good heart. I think you will be an excellent therapist.
So far, that good heart of mine hasn't amounted to much, but I'm willing to give it my best shot.
Hey,
You are uncomfortable with praise, aren't you, Samuel? Every time I say something positive, you find a way to negate it.
I just don't think I should be doing any bragging. I spent my first 50 years killing. I spent the next 90 walking in the woods. I've tried to walk a better path since then, but I ain't no saint, Auntie.
I did not say you were. Having met several so-called saints, I can attest that none of them were either. I understand your discomfort, Samuel. I, too, have done terrible things that I cannot erase. But is erasing the good I have done worthwhile?
is it?
Well, I guess when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
It's another cognitive distortion, one that mortal psychologists call disqualifying the positive. I understand that the actions of your past are difficult to bear, but what we are here to do is accept reality, with both its positive and negative aspects. I am not saying that you should disqualify your negative actions, but merely note when you disqualify the positive ones. Let us try an exercise. See whether you can challenge me when I disqualify my positive deeds. I am Andromochos, one of the most powerful vampires alive. Before I became the vampire I am now, I did exceptionally terrible things. I have defiled the innocent. I have killed countless people. The good I now do pales in comparison to the evil I have done.
That's the one. You're literally disqualifying the positive by comparing it to the evil stuff you done.
Well done, Samuel. I believe the recognition of this distortion will serve you well when you start to see clients tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Whoa, tomorrow? I only just started learning these here cognitive distortion things.
I will, of course, be with you. You needn't worry. I can sense your instincts and will help you.
But tomorrow, I just don't feel ready yet.
My friend, we are never truly ready. But if it would ease your concerns, we can practice with further examples. Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah, I think I could use the help.
Very well, Samuel. Let's try some examples. I will give you a statement, and you find the cognitive distortion in it. I am far sexier than movie vampires. Therefore, I should be a movie star.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one. That's a should statement right
I
there.
almost thought
Like
it was
you're not
something else.
insecure enough to be an actor anyway.
Excellent, Samuel. Would you like another exercise? If I cannot consume high-quality blood, I might as well drink blood from Florida.
Easter famine.
That's Nosferatu thinking, ain't it?
Correct, Samuel. That being said, I am sure there is still decent blood to drink in Florida, but I would bring a test kit anyway.
But can vampires get human disease? I don't know.
Would you like another exercise?
Yeah.
I am an antediluvian old fart.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like labeling to me. You ain't just an old fart. Are you actually older than the flood, though?
Do I look that old?
Oh, not at all. I was just...
I am joking, Samuel. Don't worry. The myth of the flood was at least 1,000 years before I was born.
The myth? Excuse me?
Would you like another exercise?
There is some physical evidence of the flood. There is.
With my terrifying powers, I know I shall never be destroyed.
I think that's a control fallacy, unless you know something I don't.
That's correct, Samuel. Though my powers are indeed phenomenal, the universe holds mysteries and dangers I cannot fathom. Would you like another exercise? I may hold vast knowledge, but acquiring it was inevitable thanks to my immortality.
I know that one. That's disqualifying the positive for sure.
It's like my darling holds doors open for people, right? And he does it without fail. He's amazing at it. And every time I compliment on it, he goes like, well, that's just how I was raised. I'm like, no, take the positive, take it.
I knew you would catch that one. Would you like another exercise?
Yes.
I am lazy and useless because I slept the night away in my coffin.
Well, that's just labeling, Chief. Ain't nothing wrong with having a sleep in once in a while.
Yeah, I had that happen to me the other day.
Well done, Samuel. Would you like another exercise? I got blood all over me the last time I drank. I am always so messy.
Okay, so
I am making quite a judgment based on a single incident.
Oh.
What kind of distortion is that? I got blood all over me the last time. I am making quite a judgment based on a single incident. I got blood all over me the last time I drank.
Well, that sounds like Nosferatu thinking to me.
Yes.
Everyone has a messy feed from time to time.
That's absolutely right. The dry cleaning bill is punishment enough without the self-judgment.
That's true.
Would you like another exercise?
Apparently I do.
I should speak at least 300 languages, including Java. I do live forever after all.
Well, that's one of them should statements, ain't it?
Thank goodness for that. Would you like another exercise? Whenever I meet a crypto vampire, I cannot control myself. I must destroy them.
Oh my god.
Remember what powers we have and what powers we do not have.
Wait.
That whenever I meet a crypto vampire, I cannot control myself. I must destroy them.
Well, that sounds like a control fallacy to me. I'm sure you don't have to kill crypto vampires.
Indeed, Samuel. They are dead inside anyway. Would you like another exercise? Someone complimented my suit the other day, but he did so only because he feared my godlike powers.
Sounds like you're disqualifying the positive to me. Your clothes are pretty damn snappy.
And, of course, I could not know whether he was afraid of my godlike powers. I think that is plenty of practice. I applaud your diligence, Samuel. Do you feel more confident now?
Sure.
I think I'm good.
All right, Samuel. You must be hungry now. I suggest you get a liter inside you. We have a big night tomorrow.
How much is a liter?
Just get enough to drink, Samuel. We will not be able to work if you are hungry.
Yeah,
or
how much
tired.
is a liter?
Now, please excuse me. I do have a date with Crimson tonight. I suspect I shall not return until nearly morning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I hope you have a nice night out, Mr. Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
Well, I'm taking this.
Ah, Samuel, glad to see you are awake. Your first client is on his way.
Got it. I cannot wait. I almost want to do it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Love Sam. Love Crimson. But Sam, he is adorable.